Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn Simplify. In today's video, either you're an Excel beginner or you want to level up your Excel, this video is right for you. In today, we'll be diving into XLookup, VLookup, and also HLookup, and the limitation of all this lookup. So let's dive right into it. The first one we have VLookup. In the VLookup, we want to check the sales for the manager 𝗙𝗵𝘁. To do this, let's use the VLookup. So equals to VLookup. So the first thing, what we want to look up for, press on 𝗙𝗵𝘁, which we have here. I press comma, and the table array, we want to specify all the table. So you can click on the first one, press Ctrl Shift down arrow, and press Ctrl Shift right arrow to highlight everything. Press comma again, and the column index number in VLookup, we use a number for the index, and it always comes from the left to the right. So when we count on this, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what we want to return. It's number 4. So put number 4 here, put comma, and we want to make sure it's exact match, which is false. So press on the false, close the bracket, and press enter. So this returns the revenue generated by 𝗙𝗵𝘁, and when we look at this number 9, we see it matched correctly. The limitation of VLookup only searches vertically and requires the lookup value to be in the leftmost column of the lookup array. If you need to retrieve data from column to the left of your lookup array, you will need to rearrange your data or use index/match. So let's take a look on the HLookup, which means horizontal lookup. As you can see, our data is right now in horizontal. One of the limitation here that you can see is that horizontal data is not really popular as vertical data, but let's quickly do this and see how we're able to get to the results. We want to click on HLookup, and we want to look up the same thing that we look up in the vertical. So we want to look up for 𝗙𝗵𝘁 and press comma. The table array, as we use in the other one, we want to specify all the table array. So click on this, Shift Ctrl down arrow and Shift Ctrl right arrow. So this highlights everything that you need. Put comma again, and the index array is going to be 4 again, because when we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, so the revenue that we want to generate, it's number 4. So we want to put number 4 there, put comma, and we want to make sure this exact match. So put false and close bracket, press enter. So as we see, this is also correct. As we can see, 𝗙𝗵𝘁 here at the revenue generated is the same thing as we see previously. The other limitation of HLookup, it always searches horizontally, but it's limited to searching across row. If your data structure changes, e.g. quarters become column, or you need more flexibility, it's better you consider index and match, or you need to switch to XLookup. So let's go to XLookup. As we mentioned earlier, VLookup require value to be leftmost column to the lookup array. So right now we have our sales manager name in the leftmost, which means if we need to return the revenue, our manager is in the leftmost. If you want to use VLookup, you need to rearrange the data to make sure what you are looking up is in the leftmost. Otherwise, you're going to have the limitation. So let me show you the limitation we're talking about. Here we want to use the VLookup first. So press equals to VLookup, and what we say we want to look up, which is 𝗙𝗵𝘁, that we look up in the first one, and the table array, you want to select everything, and the index. So our index right now, this is 3. Can we specify 3? Let's see what it's going to give us. So we put 3 there, the exact match, which is false, and close the bracket, press enter. So this shows NA, so not applicable. If we change this 3 to -1 and we press enter, it's showing not applicable for us as well. Thank God we have XLookup to rectify this and to use in case we have data like this. So let's use XLookup. So equals to XLookup. What we are looking up is 𝗙𝗵𝘁, so we specify the 𝗙𝗵𝘁. The lookup array So this one we just need to specify the sales manager, which we need to look up, highlight everything, comma. What do we want to return? So we want to return the revenue. So just click on the revenue that we want to return, close the bracket and press enter. This will return it for us, which is American. When we look at this American, we see this is really correct. Let's look into another example of XLookup. Let's say, for example, we change the name of sales manager from American to 𝗙𝗶𝗁𝗁. It's showing NA for us because when we look at this sales manager list, 𝗙𝗶𝗁𝗁 is not there. For the sake of people that we are going to send this to, when they see NA, sometimes they don't understand what it means. XLookup gives us opportunity to put text that people can understand when they are looking at this data. So instead of putting NA, we can put maybe not found, name is not found, or something like that. So let's go back to our formula to include this. So in this formula, after the last one, you want to put comma. You see not found, you want to put double colon, write not found, press comma as well, and press enter. So now when you put 𝗙𝗶𝗁𝗁, this shows not found, and when you put someone else on the list, it's going to find it for us. Let's put Iona N, and this is going to find the Iona for us. But when you put someone that is not really on the list, it's going to show not yet. So let's try another name, Victor. This is showing not found. Another example of XLookup. In this new data that we have, we've included a commission for everyone. In XLookup, we want to return the revenue generated and commission for American. How to do this? Press equals to XLookup. We want to look up American. Where do we want to look it up? We want to look it up under the sales manager. Press the sales manager. What do we want to return? Before, we are going to click on only revenue, but now because we want to return both revenue and commission, so we are clicking on both. Press Ctrl and Shift down arrow and press right arrow to return both and press enter. So this return both revenue and commission are for American. And when we look at American, which is number 9 here, we see this is correct. And if we change the name to someone else, it's going to return the same thing. It returns both the revenue and commission for this person as well. Lastly, we want to look at another example of XLookup and how we can use XLookup in Excel. We are trying to look for sales manager that based in Toronto. When we look at our data, we see some people like American is in Toronto, Sharon is in Toronto, and we have Jude as well in Toronto. We want to make sure we return the revenue for every sales manager based in Toronto. So let's do this. Press equals to XLookup. We want to look up Toronto. In the array and light on the city, we want to return the revenue for everyone in Toronto. So we click on the revenue, close brackets, press enter. This is showing a revenue generated in Toronto. So one thing we can do, let's filter by city, filter from A to Z. So here we see American for 52, and it's not included the Sharon and Jude for us because XLookup is using a loop, and once it found the first number that meets Toronto, it doesn't add everything for us. We want to make sure we are getting the sales for everyone in Toronto. So what we can do, so let me just copy this formula to the bottom, and what we want to do, we want to make sure we use SUMIF together with the XLookup, and to do that, in front of equals to, put SUMIF, press tab. What do we want to sum? We are looking for the city, which is Toronto. So highlight on the city and press comma. So now we have the XLookup following the SUMIF. And what do we want to return at the end of the day? We want to make sure it returns the revenue generated by all the sales manager in Toronto. So click on the revenue. In the XLookup, we specify to get a revenue back here, and we also specify in SUMIF. So we want to make sure within the XLookup, we only specify the city so that it calculates the city, everyone in that city, using SUMIF to give us this summary aggregation of everyone. Change the revenue to city and press enter. And as we see right now, this is giving us the sum of all the sales manager in Toronto. When we look at this sales manager, we have 3 people. We have Amir, Sharon, and Jude. When we click on these 3, it's going to show us the sum at this bottom right here. It's equals to the same thing that we have, so which means it's correct. If we change any other city to Toronto, it's going to automatically update it for us. For example, let's say we change this AJ from Paris, we change it to Toronto, press enter. We can see this increase this revenue as well. And apart from that, we can change this Toronto, to another city. For example, let's change it to, let's say, London. And we have London calculation here, which we can see from this 4. That's the calculation 728, and that's really correct. These are some of the ways that we can use both XLookup, VLookup, or HLookup in Excel. XLookup is not available in older version of Excel and does not support array constants as lookup values. For more complex lookup scenario, consider combining functions like index and matches to use it in different complex scenario. In conclusion, mastering this lookup array with real-world scenario and also understanding the strengths and limitation of each lookup will empower you to handle complex data analysis tasks in Excel. I will include the data set in the description box below, and I will implore you to practice more with different data sets to understand how lookup works in Excel to further enhance your skill. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, kindly like, subscribe, and share with others how to learn the same thing. Thank you, and see you in the next video.